Hello everyone, my name is Sam and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have a very different video planned for you guys. It's actually a personal creepy story that I told on stream. If you guys like that sort of thing, make sure to head over to my Twitch channel. I'll put it down below. I stream Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and every other Monday. Make sure to check me out on there. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you guys want to see more videos from me. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you next time. Personal story as Vibe requested. I was around 15 years old. This was in 2014 or 2015, somewhere around there. Around 15 years old. This was around like, I want to say 9 or 10 p.m., right? This was just a regular night. My mother and I were watching TV in the living room, and my father had gone to sleep because he had to go to work the next day. We were just chilling in the living room watching a movie, and we all of a sudden hear my dad come into the living room and say, who the hell was pushing against the bed? Like, where is Paola? Paola is my little cousin's name, and she was around, I want to say like 8 or 9 around that time.
So shut the fuck up.
Probably a little bit younger. She wasn't there. She wasn't home. He was like, so who the hell was like rocking my bed, like pushing against my bed? And we're like, no one. And then he proceeds to tell us, like, stop lying to me. Who the hell was doing it? I know somebody was doing it. And he starts looking around the whole house, starting to look for my little cousin. And we're like, she's not here. What are you looking for? And he goes like, I know she's here. I know she's here. So then we ask him, why do you think she's here? And then he starts telling us that when he was sleeping, he felt someone like pushing his bed, like with like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Like someone like pushing against your bed, like rocking it almost like that, like just like pushing against it like this, right? He goes like, so who the hell was it? And we're like, nope, nobody. Like, what do you mean? Nobody was in your room. We were just watching TV. So he starts telling us what happened, and he starts saying that somebody was pushing his bed, like rocking it, and he wanted to know who the hell it was. He starts telling us in a little bit more detail. After like just trying to search the whole house for our little cousin, after a little bit, he starts telling us what happened. And we start asking him because he's no longer looking. He's just like sitting down, kind of like baffled. He's just like surprised, kind of like weirded out. And he starts telling us that when he was laying down, he started feeling this. So he told whoever was doing it to stop, and they didn't stop. So they kept doing it, and he said that he must have said it like a couple times, probably like 4 or 5 times. He kept saying stop, stop, stop. And they didn't stop. So then he says, when he finally looked to see who it was, he saw somebody running out of his room. He saw a little girl running out of the room. That's why he thought our little girl cousin, had been doing that. That's why he thought that. So we reassure him that nobody has been in the room and that our cousin isn't even home. So she wouldn't even be able to do that. We ended up like not talking about this for a while because we had nothing to go on, basically. We thought it was weird, we thought it was creepy, and we all got freaked out that night, and we all, like, I didn't want to sleep alone. I was like, so we're gonna have a sleepover, like, in the living room? Basically here, we didn't really think about it much. We did get creeped out, but we weren't, like, super creeped out, because, believe it or not, there's actually been other instances where my mom and myself would see little girls running around the house when our cousin wasn't home. And for like a while we were like, oh, it's her little friend, like we didn't really pay much attention to it. We were like kind of like joking around, like maybe it was our cousin just playing a prank on us or something. Like we didn't really pay it much attention. So about, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks later, I go down to our basement, and our basement was unfinished. It was like completely unfinished. There was still cement walls, and it was like pretty much a creepy vibe. There was like little tiny windows. It kind of felt like a cellar. It was pretty creepy, if you ask me. So I go down there, and so in our cellar there was a little bit of a like secluded room that was actually boarded off and like sealed off completely. So this like little room was boarded off since we moved in there, and our uncle had decided to open it up to see what was inside, or like to make it a little bit more storage. And this room was fairly creepy, and it had like a little, I want to say like a little box. It was it was just like a little box with a lock on it, but like it was like I want to say a cabinet with a lock, and this cabinet nobody had the key to it. And when I was younger, I remember my mom had given me a key, a rusted out key, like one of those really old ones, vintage, like Narnia kind of key, like, you know. So my mom had given this to me because it was the key to my closet. And I remember going downstairs and seeing that the opening, like the keyhole, was similar to the one that I had in my closet. And I was like, whoa, it's kind of creepy. Maybe it works. So I go ahead and put the key in the hole, and then I turn it, and it ends up working, which was surprising as hell to me because nobody knew where the key was until basically me opening it or me finding out. So the whole house had doors like this, like the whole first floor had a whole bunch of doors that had these. Basically, this key had like when you opened the little box in the cellar or the basement, sorry. So it had a whole bunch of books and some old newspapers. We were looking through all the old newspapers, and we found a couple of like just random stuff, like John F. Kennedy, like when he died, we found that old newspaper. Also, within all of those, I ended up finding, within a book, I found this newspaper that read that the whole family had been murdered by the father, and when asked about it in court, he said that it was because he was doing a satanic ritual. That's what he said in court. And I'm telling you guys, if I find the article, if I find it on the internet, I will post it on my Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I go ahead and read through the rest of the books that were in the bookshelf or the cabinet or whatever. So I found a picture within all the books. Inside one of the books, I found a picture of a little girl who seemed to be around like 8 or 9. And just, it wasn't naked, thank God, but it was mentally fucking scarring. This little girl was laying, clothed obviously, but she was laying on the ground, and she had a circle of what seemed, it didn't seem like blood, but this picture was really grainy. I'm not sure. It was a really old picture, so I'm not 100% sure what was around her, but it seemed that there was like a demonic circle around her. Swear to God, no cap, no bullshit. There was a circle in my house, in my basement. Creepy as fuck, right? There was a circle around her, around like her body, like she was laying down on the floor like this, and there was a circle around her body, you know, like those demonic circle with the star inside, but it was like upside down. You know how the star, like the point is pointing up and then the two points are pointing down? Well, this one was flipped upside down, and I looked it up, and it's a fucking demonic witchcraft circle. So it's a satanic circle. And when I saw that shit, when I researched it, I was like, what in the actual fuck? No thank you, no thank you, no thank you, basically. Because that shit was like creepy, Illuminati ass shit, like creepy ass shit. So I left it alone. I told my parents about it, and they didn't really seem to like care. Like they didn't, it seemed strange to them, but they didn't really pay much attention to it. And I guess that's what you get with like Mexican parents. Like they really don't give a fuck unless it's not making money or it's paying the bills. They don't give a fuck. So they like, if a ghost is living there, they need to pay bills. Like that's the Mexican household. You live there, you gotta pay bills. Next time I go to my mom's house, I will look for it. On my old house, I will look for it and I will post it. 2 or 3 weeks later, I go back to revisit it, and I go on Google and try to search up my house to see like my address, to see, because usually when you search up your address, you can find like previous owners, whether there was a fucking murder in your house or not. But I wouldn't get anything whatsoever. Like sometimes the house wouldn't even pop up on Google Maps. I ended up searching for around like 2 or 3 hours, like intense searching, looking through Google, not only Google, but like fucking Reddit, like any type of like forum, any type of anything. And I ended up finding something, and I wish I could have fucking saved it or taken a picture or screenshot, whatever, but I didn't. And this was a really long time ago, and I don't have the same phone, so I can't go back into like the history and try to find it. Finally, I had to go through a whole bunch of processes to find like the house, like trying to find information about the house. I ended up finding out that yes, 2 little girls died, as well as their mother died in the house where I lived for 17 years. So yeah, basically people died at my house, and a lot of people. I have other stories about my basement and creepy ass shit that's happened in the basement, but I'm gonna save those for another stream. You guys have to come back for another stream to hear those.